I hope you're not lactose intolerant because this deck is legendary.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars! I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm playing Hajar, Loyal Bodyguard. You may notice that this deck has the same name as my prior Helana and Laelia deck. That's because it is the same deck, but it's been updated and retooled, and I'll explain why. So, I love legendaries as a theme and as a deck, which is why I'm playing Hajar, Loyal Bodyguard, who can be sacrificed to make legendary creatures you control indestructible until end of turn, also a little bit stronger. I previously had Helana and Laelia in the same slot for this deck, but unfortunately Helana and Laelia is such an incredibly powerful card that playing it as your commander is going to match you up against only the strongest of decks. Also known as the Hell Queue, if you follow my channel and you know my word for it. The Hell Queue. Helana and Laelia are in the Hell Queue. But if you want to have the same theme, which is Gruul Legends, well, Hajar fits the bill. He also only costs 2 mana and he's a 3/3, which makes him a pretty powerful beater and a great card to land early in a game. So what happens with Gruul Legends? Well, you do a lot of damage. Gruul Legends are all about going fast, hitting face, and dealing just a ton of combat damage. In fact, I would say that there are some of the highest power creatures, like Ghalta, in this deck. This deck is a bit of an aggro mid-rangey build. We have some haste enablers like Perforos. We have cards that have haste on their own, think Lannery Storm, Feldon. We have cards that give haste, and again, like Goro Goro. And of course, all of these things are legendary. The best thing you can do with this deck is build out a big board, protect it with the commander, and hit base. And that is actually really important. Unlike most decks, getting your commander out here is not about your commander being the thing you want to protect. It's about protecting everything else, because everything in this deck is going to be better than Hajar. But Hajar can die to let them live. By the way, this character is from the Brothers War novel, and when I pictured him, I did not picture him as some flaming sworded warlord. I pictured him more of just like a guy who was Mishra's friend and defended him at one point, and then was kind of like, I guess I'm stuck with him, even though Mishra's pretty evil right now. Oh well. So yes, we're going to take this into the queue, but I want to say one thing. What you want in your opening hand is Bard class. This is the secret commander of the deck. Okay, Bard class. If this could be my commander, I would make it my commander. There's no rule 0 in Historic Brawl, but we can pretend there is. Anyway, let's go hit some face with some Gruul Legends. Looks like we're up against Yerrick, the Desecrated. He duplicates enter the battlefield abilities, including Landfall. We have our commander in our opening hand, which is a normal thing to say when you're playing Historic Brawl. But yes, Bard class is the thing I want to see here, because I'm really hoping they don't have a Reclamation Sage or some way to counter this, destroy it, because I really want to be the Bard class, a level 2 Bard specifically, so we can play our legends for cheap and also make them extra strong. So far, looks like our Bard class is going to land. It hasn't been countered, but they have blue and green mana. Ooh, the big stinky blinky. Hello, Thassa Deep Dwelling. That lets them bounce one of their creatures, or sorry, flicker one of their creatures at the end of their turn. That is kind of scary. Well, time to level up the bards. And for the low cost of free, we can now play our commander, Hajar. We can also play Rahilda. Cool. We can also get 1 extra mana that we can't do anything with, but we have it with the Mox Amber. We've got 7 power on the battlefield, not bad. Bard class gives them an extra +1/+1, and they're setting up for tons of enter the battlefield value. But they haven't gotten the actual pieces yet. So I guess what we'll do is, do I want to set up for level 3, or do I want to start hitting things? I want to start hitting things. We're going to play the Celestus and the Beast at Questing, the Questing Beast. And I'll just swing in with Questing Beast, since these would both die to Yerrick. We hit for 5. Now we do have our Hajar ready to be sacrificed at any time. Just waiting. Galligrators, okay. Gallic Raiders get them life, treasure, or +1/+1 counters. Oh, and Landlord Visionary is going to draw them 2 cards. So this gets 2 triggers, this gets 2 triggers, and at the end of turn, they can make one of these, go to exile, and come right back to get, I don't know, more card draw. I think they'll choose more card draw. They didn't attack me, though, so my board is safe. Gallic Raiders has triggered all 3 triggers, so they no longer get any more value there. Ooh, and a nice discounted henge! But I know what I need. I think we need that level 3 Bard class soon. We're going to start with the henge, and then do this. And the next legend we cast is going to be... No, just the Questing Beast. We're going to be ready to go. The Questing Beast, by the way, cannot be blocked by anything but Yarok here. But I'm still afraid of it, like, I don't know, getting bounced, or being killed, or exiled, or anything like that. Thankfully, with the Great Henge in play, if they do start throwing my creatures back into hand, I can at least get a bit more value out of them. But as far as things being destroyed, well, Hajar is here with the Indestructible for my legendary creatures. Also, since we're still getting the discount from Bard class, yeah, I mean, Hajar only costs 2 mana. It costs 0 the first time I cast it, and it's going to cost 2, assuming Bard class is still out. Here comes the Arcane Signet. And do they want to get more card draw? Risen Reef is cool because if it's a land, it just puts the thing on top of your library into play rather than putting it into your hand. A bit better than going full visionary value. And a Growth Spiral. Oh, they are definitely interested in ramp. I have ramped as well. Just not as much as they have. Who do you blink? I like Risen Reef too. Risen Reef gets the old double trigger here. By the way, if they had blinked Yarok, it also would have triggered the Risen Reef. That's just kind of fun. And I hit 2 lands. Okay. Let's start getting some Bard Storms. We'll start with Squee. We got 2 lands there, or 1 land and 1 creature here, and we drew Radha. Gonna play Ambergris. Oh, Anissa! Looking pretty good. Lokmal's Druidic Vow. I'm going to untap a forest. I'm going to cast Jaya's Immolating Inferno for 1. I'm going to hit Risen Reef, Llanowar Elf, Fubblethub. Fubblethub goes back into the library, but these 2 will die. Okay, we got Rishkar, we got Swiftfoot Boots. We're gonna go with Rishkar here. Since all of these have +1/+1 counters, meaning they can all tap for mana, but only green mana. I'm gonna buff up Hajar and Rahilda. Gwenna seems kind of cool. Perforos gives everyone haste. Haste is neat. And the storm continues. And it grows. And grows and grows and grows. I'm gonna play Tovolar. Ooh. Klothys sounds nice. I like Questing Beast is like, you would tap me for mana? Sure would. Perforos, why don't you give yourself haste? That's so embarrassing. Gwenna. They'll have 1 mana here. Oh, sorry. Make that 2 mana, because Gwenna can actually tap for 2 mana. Right! Oh, wait, I have a Burgee here? Oh, I should have gone for the Burgee, even though it was off to the side. Radha. And we're pretty much out of moves here. I cast this for X = 0. That's not very helpful. I'll attack in with Radha, since she does have first strike on my turn. Looking good. Okay. I feel that I've sufficiently played cards. I'm gonna drop Sheltered Thicket and this forest, since I feel like we're pretty good on lands. Guardian Project. That's going to get them more card draw. But I feel like card draw isn't their problem here. What they need is they need removal. Something like a Ravenous Chupacabra would be very strong. Now, because we do have haste for everything next turn, we're going to be having a impossibly huge swing. They do have a chance to kill Nissa if they would like to, and I don't know, I would kill Nissa. But they might want to deal with the Perforos first, and they can't, so we win. Nice game, Yerrick! Jetmir, Nexus of Rebels! The card that goes wide and then has a Crater Hoof in the command zone. This is a keepable hand because Bard class. I mean, also other good cards, but Bard class. I feel like we established with the first game that Bardcore, Hardcore. By the way, our opponent's commander, Jetmir, is pretty sweet because all you need to do is build up your wide board, and what he does is give Vigilance, if you have 3 creatures, Trample and Vigilance, and then Double Strike, Trample, Vigilance, and also +3/+0 if you manage to get up to 9 creatures, including your commander. There we are. Time for turn 2, Bard class. We have a lot of cards in this deck, actually very much included because of Bard class. Things that have 1 red and 1 green pip, because we know once you reduce that cost, it only costs 1. Nice! Now we have Tovolar and Hajar on the battlefield, and they're totally gonna exile Tovolar, aren't they? Yep, that's the Swords to Plowshares. Goodbye, Toblerone. I'll see you later. There goes my werewolf boy who draws me cards. That's fine, we have other good cards in hand, like Sushi, and Questing Beast, and Squee. And no! My Bard class! Well, I'm sad. My game, my life is over because Reclamation Sage destroyed my level 2 Bard class. Now we have to play this game fair and square. Which, I guess I'll do. We get down our Laelia, who on attack is going to exile a card from our library. I can play it this turn. She hit a mountain. And now we have an ever-growing creature who is protected by Hajar. And they have an indestructible squirrel who's going to give them card draw whenever their creatures hit my face. Toski is going to do a very good job defensively against these creatures, but we do have a really nice piece here, Questing Beast. Do I want to Questing Beast first to get damage in? Do I want to just attack and try to get a land? I'm going to go with Questing Beast. And I'm going to attack in with everybody here. This has Vigilance, so it will still be able to block. And we did get a land. It is a land that is tapped. But that is fine with me. They're down to 10 life, and we have a Den of the Bugbear out. Den of the Bugbear is a land, and that's all I really need it to be here, because my plan is to use Black Blade Reforged. For 5 mana, 2 to play, 3 to equip, I can give something +5/+5, or +X/+X, which is however many lands I control. Now, these all have Vigilance, thanks Jetmir, but I imagine only Toski will attack in, and Toski does have Indestructible, and our opponent has given up. Our opponent is playing Rusko. Also, I see they have a 69 in their name, but I don't know how to read the rest of their name, so I assume it's a very fun name. We're going to keep this hand. We've got a turn 1 Llanowar Elf that we have to pay with, well, a pain land, but that's still a turn 1 Llanowar Elf, and I will take it. So we do have 2 lands in hand. We've got this Llanowar Elf, and really what I want to do is I want to go fast. And I think that Sonic the Hedgehog really said it best. And that's just the philosophy we're going to adhere by. My life total is not that big of a consequence here, so we're going to keep paying the pain land and get a damage in, because we did go first against this Rusko deck. And if you haven't been dealing with Rusko, he's a very strong Dimir control commander. And, could it possibly be my commander, Bard class? While they're tapped out, they can't counter it. And, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it. Dimir's not that good at dealing with enchantments. So here we go. Hajar with an extra +1/+1 counter. Laelia with an extra +1/+1 counter. And we swing in for 3. Now, if they do have a board wipe, say a Meathead Massacre for 1, these 2 die. Or a Ritual of Soot. Everything here would die, except for the ones I can protect with Hajar, which would just be Laelia. But no, they're ramping. That's the Celestis. We're going to keep on keeping on and deal some damage. Because they are a control deck, I think that landing Vivian would be smart. But I'm going to go with this Radha because whenever one or more creatures I control attack, I get to add that much mana. So Llanowar Elves don't need to tap for mana when they can slap for mana. Do I want to discard a card at random? You know what? That sounds fun. Let's do that. Thank you, Laelia. We discarded Escape to the Wilds. And we're going to add... I actually want a little bit more green, just looking at what's in my hand. Bunch of green, little bit of red. Gonna make my opponent dead. They're not dead yet. They have 8 life left. And, let's see, we could do this for X equals 5. That sounds fun. Let's do it. Kamal's Druidic Vow for X equals 5. I get to choose any number of land or legendary permanents and put them onto the battlefield. Very nice. We have one more legend here, Lucamina. He'll put a land into my hand. And I am actually able to Wild Shape for next turn. And remember, if they have a board wipe... No, they don't, because we still have the ability to protect. Unless they put it back into my hand. Okay. Okay, Rusko. You better have that board wipe this next turn, or you are so dead. I'm waiting. Extinction event. Wouldn't kill all of them. Would kill most of them, though. Crux of Fate. Well, bad news. None of them are dragons. Good news. We can still play our commander again for free. Big fan of that. I feel like I actually want to get this all the way up to level 3, though, so I can ride this value train. Cool. Great. Neat. Nice. No Vorinclexes. Unfortunately, we bricked there because all of those cost 5 and I only had 3 mana available. Well, they cost 6, but Bard class made them cost 1 less. You know what I'm saying. Mind Stone. Somebody wants to ramp. Would you like to play your commander? Your dear friend Rusko. Yes, they would. That's going to give them a midnight clock. And whenever they cast a non-creature spell, they'll be putting a counter on that clock and draining me for 1 life. It's amazing how much life Rusko can gain. The clock is ticking. We have a grand assortment of Gruul value. There's a second main and they pass straight through. I'm going to play the Great Henge. See if it gets countered. Counterspell, just pure and simple counterspell. We get the 2 cards off Bard class. I see a land and a land. Let's go for Tusky next. Ooh, Krenko! I would like to play that Krenko. If I play the Lair of the Hydra, it would come in tapped and I wouldn't be able to play this bad boy. And I know what I like. It's Krenko! Unfortunately, nobody else is going to be able to come out to play. But since we hit them, we dealt damage with a creature. Tusky is going to draw me a card. And we got Kogla! Hi, Kogla. By the way, indestructible on its own. Can be made indestructible by our dear friend, Hajar. And if they dare have a blocker, we will remove it from existence with our monkey! We are just too fast for that Rusko. Did I have fun in that match? Yes, I beat a Rusko. I had fun. There are a few cards that are not good in Prosper, because Prosper himself is good, and that's what our opponent is playing. Prosper Tomebound is all about exiling cards, playing them from exile, and then making treasures. It's a bit of a Rakdos ramp deck at times that gives you tons of value just from its commander. We have a pretty nice hand here. We're going to be missing red mana, though, if I play Lair of the Hydra on turn 1. So instead, I'm going to start with Rootbound Crag. So we'll be able to play Lair of the Hydra into Gallia on turn 2. I could play Hajar too. That would be setting up for more damage over time, but I want to get the first blood. So here we go, swinging in for 2 with Gallia of the Endless Dance. Gallia gives other satyrs, there's no other satyrs in the deck, +1/+1 and haste. But she can also give me some card advantage by discarding cards at random, having a good time and partying hard, as she does. This is one of the most fun pieces of art on a Magic card. How could you not love Gallia's art? You have this satyr with this guy with a fruit plate and a headlock. You've got these guys going doot-doot in the background. You've got the break dancers over here and this lady satyr. Like, dang, look at them go! If you look at Johannes Frost's Twitter, I want to say, then you can actually find, like, the sketches of the art over time for this. It started with a lot more drunken vomiting. Great piece of art. Well, we're up to 5 mana. And I feel like if we cast Escape to the Wilds, we won't get the best value out of it. But I really like Escape to the Wilds, so I'm going to cast it anyway. Oh look, extra land. Perfect. Okay, so Gallia has gotten in quite a bit of damage so far. You may have noticed I didn't sacrifice to the Infernal Grasp. It's because I wanted them to take the 2 extra damage there. Burgie! Hello, Burgie. Uh-oh. And a poisonous cup. Gallia is dead. They get the scry because this is the foretold poison in the cup. And they also are floating 1 red mana, because that's what Burgie does. Whenever you cast a spell, you get red mana, and it sticks around for a little bit. Now, who do I want? I think I'll go for... I can't play them all. I'm going to play Selvala. Then I'm going to play Radha. Radha's tied for the most damage on this board. And I don't have a use for this extra floating mana here. But I feel like having Radha out versus having Krenko and Magda out is going to be pretty helpful for me. Nice, they got their commander down. He definitely does not have a higher power than Radha or Burgie. But does he have boots? Swiftfoot Boots? He sure does. Prosper also has Death Touch, which is frustrating. Dang it, Prosper. Ooh, a swamp. I guess we may as well start just building up and drawing cards and getting a lot of mana out here. I want to not tap Selvala yet, though, so we're going to be careful here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for Kogla. And we're going to smack the Burgie. Selvala taps for mana equal to power, so if I can get a bigger creature out first, that gives me more mana to do more fun stuff. And what fun stuff do I want to do? Do I want to play Atali? Or should I play Hajar to protect my current board? I think I'm going to play Hajar. And I can also get out Gwenna here. And then I'm just going to pass the turn. I could attack in with Radha if they block, make it indestructible with Hajar, but I think that it's safer for me to protect myself against a Crux of Fate, or, well, I guess they wouldn't have Blood on the Snow. I don't see any snow lands. Some other sort of board wipe, even a damage-based one, or burning down the house. Burn down the house. And they're taking a look here with a Murderous Rider. I am going to sacrifice my commander to make Koga indestructible. By the way, if we had 2 mana up, we could have actually just used that mana to put Hajar back into our hand to make this indestructible. But I'll take what I can get. They exiled a Grim Tutor, which I don't think they're going to want to cast because we're going to be dealing some serious damage. How much damage do I have, actually? Let's find out. No, I don't need the mana to be in other colors. Thank you. This can only tap for creatures. That's just something I want to point out. But I think we're going to be good here. Okay. Yeah. I think that's 10. We can use Gwenna for this ability. Oh, we actually had 13. That's fine. I don't need to do math. Destroy the boots. Sure. Okay. And kill our opponent. It looks like I could have just done that for 12. But you know what? I don't need to. We're good. Our next opponent is Tatiova Benthic Druid. For landfall, she gains a life and draws a card. She's all about that ramp, and also about, well, usually playing really scary things that are in Simic colors. She's one of those commanders that's just got so much value behind her that it's hard to know what to expect. Is it going to be a counterspell? Is it going to be a Hydroid Krasis? Or is it just going to be, I don't know, a Sylvan Awakening, turning 20 lands into 2/2 creatures? Alright, we've got mana here, and we're going to use that mana to make more mana by casting Captain Lannery Storm. She swings in and makes a treasure token. Excellent. A perfect 2 damage. Don't look at my treasure. Okay, I'm going to actually sacrifice this treasure so they are not able to get the second half of that spell, which is putting a land into play. But they did cut me off from some mana there, which I'm not happy about. So it's time for me to get a nice, indestructible, uncounterable, card-drawing machine Toski onto the battlefield. Lannery swings in, gets me a treasure, and draws me a card. Thank you, Toski. Because a creature has dealt combat damage, so we get a card. Ooh, nice. Tireless Provisioner usually makes treasures when a land enters the battlefield, though it doesn't have to. It usually does. I feel like now's a good time for me to start getting even more things out here that are super strong and scary. Like that. Swinging in with Lannery and Toski. They block the Toski. If I wanted to be really petty there, I could have sacrificed Hajar to get 1 extra damage. Instead, we're just going to keep building up our board. They do not have enough mana for the blue board wipe of River's Rebuke, so I feel fairly safe on this battlefield. I guess they could whelm me with a wave, but that doesn't feel like the sort of thing that a Tatiova deck would do. Instead, no, here comes Tatiova herself, though she may just need to block. Oh my gosh. What if I wiped the board and attacked in with these and made everybody indestructible with the jar? Is it the right move? Maybe not. Is it the fun move? Oh, absolutely. So we're going to deal 3 to each non-elemental. My legendaries are indestructible. And we're gonna go swinging on in, drawing 4 cards and dealing a whole lot of damage. Tatiova's not here for that. I killed their commander. I get it. Our opponent is playing Dina, Soul Steeper. Very often a combo piece commander. And you can tell our opponent was playing in the Decathlon because they have a Phage avatar. I also played in the Decathlon. I got all my wins. And now my stupid packs tab glows on me whenever I'm on my main menu page. And I keep clicking on it thinking, oh, I have packs to open, when I don't. Because Arena is silly and should not show it to me. Anyway, Dina gains, when you gain life with Dina out, your opponent loses life, which is an infinite combo with cards like Exquisite Blood. Very often, this is a deck that has a low-key life gain payoff, but is also just a lot of Golgari, good stuff, and tutors to find that combo piece. Us being in Gruul, we don't actually have that much interaction or ways to stop that combo, so what we need to do is we need to kill them before they can kill us. Wishclaw Talisman. Somebody wants to tutor for their WinCon. It's exactly as I said. I know how it goes. I could play Fable of the Mirror Breaker or Gwenny here. With this Great Henge in hand, I'm actually going to get down the Fable of the Mirror Breaker. This will get me a little goblin. And this goblin I can tap and attack with to make a treasure. Very cool. This is mostly about filtering my hand with Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay, Fatal Push on the goblin token. They do not want me to do the thing. Now, they're probably not going to crack Wishclaw Talisman unless they have a way to remove it from my side of the battlefield or pull off their combo on the same turn, because they know I could use it to search for removal for their game plan. And by the way, the third part of this, Kiki Jiki, cannot copy legendaries. So really, it's just about the value of this card. And they know it. Nice, look at that, they've ramped. A Squee. You know, this Squee can be played from the graveyard, so we're just gonna toss him right there. He likes it. Get down a Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia. And I'm going to leave both of my creatures back. Wishclaw Talisman can only be done during their turn, but they have enough mana to play their WinCon. But once they've played Exquisite Blood, they still have to deal damage to me or gain life in order to kick the combo off. Let's see what they can go for. They've already played Jungle Hollow, which is like a kind of cheeky way to kick it off. Nope, looks like they're going for the Gargaroth! And they're wishing! Now, we are Gruul. We do not have hand attack. We can destroy some enchantments and artifacts, but it's not exactly an easy thing to do. This flips over. And they've probably got that Exquisite Blood in hand. And with the trample here, it's going to be harder for me to prevent, well, a terrible, terrible death. Especially with the fact that my enchantment removal tends to be sorcery speed. In fact, I think all of it except for Beside You is sorcery speed. Which is exactly why I'm going to crack the Wishclaw Talisman. And we're going to actually get a land off of this. We're going to get Beside You, who endures into our hand. And that's going to feel kind of funny, I bet, to a lot of people, but I do think it's the right move. I don't have any big expensive creatures, so Gwenna's not going to be able to untap here. But we are just going to vibe, we're going to hang out, we're going to chill with these four creatures as blockers. And now they're fetching something else, maybe a form of indestructible. That would be good for something like Beside You. There's many, like, protective spells in green that can make a permanent indestructible until end of turn. There's the Exquisite Blood. And they're going to gain a life, which would kick off an infinite loop here. So let's see if they got some safekeeping. Yep, they did. That's gonna be a good game as the combo commences. They gain the life. We lose the life, they gain life, we lose the life, we gain life, we lose the life. I'm just going to put on auto pass here so it will resolve as quickly as it can. Because it's going to go one at a time because Dina is just 1 damage. Look at them go! Look at them go. And if you're wondering, is there anything in my deck that could have stopped this? The answer is no, not really. Unfortunately, the way that Wishclaw Talisman is going to give them the extra fetch, and the fact that I didn't have any other removal in hand, meant that we're pretty much just doomed and damned from the start. Good game, Dina. Our opponent is playing the first Sliver. Now, this could be a Sliver tribal deck, or it could just be 5 color good stuff. Slivers are a really interesting tribe in Magic the Gathering because they buff each other. A Sliver will say something like, all Slivers have Menace. Or in the case of Arena, they'll say, Slivers you control have Menace. There were a lot of old symmetrical Slivers that affected both you and your opponent's cards. They don't really print those anymore, and the ones in Arena are all one-sided. And, speaking of one-sided starts, we managed to get some red mana, and we have a 3-power creature on the battlefield, our Commander! And they have a little bit of ramp. And fixing, the Llanowar Loam Speaker. A very cool card, but not quite big enough to block my Commander. And I'm going to go ahead and get down Krenko 2. This Krenko, when it attacks, gets a +1/+1 counter, and then makes some goblins. And everybody likes goblins. Especially me. Ooh, and it definitely looks like our opponent's on 5-color good stuff because this is Crucius, Titan of the Waves. I recently actually made a Commander video for this card because he's really cool. I'm a big fan of the way he plays out as a Commander, and I'm looking forward to seeing how other people play him. Now it's time for me to get more goblins on the battlefield with Squee. And I'm going to actually attack with everybody here. If they block with Crucius, I'm going to sacrifice Hajar to kill him. Looking good. Krenko's going to get 1 extra power. And these two are going to survive combat. We also get a little more damage toward their face, but they have enough for the first Sliver here. And the first Sliver is very big and a little scary. Okay, first Sliver, are you coming down? Yeah? Oh, okay, so they didn't want to sacrifice that treasure, I guess. Oh, or they're going for another really strong 5-color card, the Kami War. First it exiles, then it bounces and makes me discard, and then it flips over into a terrifying monster dragon spirit. So what I need to do, and I say need here, is I need to get rid of it. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to. Kogla will get bounced back into my hand before it can attack. Laelia gives me a chance of finding a way to deal with this, but I think that just playing out the Kogla here, taking out the Loam Speaker, and then making them put this back into my hand is the best move I've got. They're not going to let Kogla attack, because Kogla attacking would destroy the Kami War, but we're going to do what we can. We're going to hopefully have our monkey ready in a turn. They also, by the way, are being threatened with lethal damage, which is probably relevant. I forget sometimes that combat damage is how you win games. Is it time for Monkey Return? Monkey Return! Okay. And we're going to toss our land, the Highland Forest, into the graveyard. And here's Golos! Oh, hello, Golos. I will fight you with my monkey as well. If I wanted to, I could actually play the Rishkar first. Oh no, that only leaves me with 5 mana. Yeah, since we didn't have a land here, we're going to take out Golos and we're going to swing in. Now, thankfully, the backside of the Kami War is also an enchantment, so we are able to destroy it by attacking in with Kogla. It flips over, they have enough mana, and they have mana in every color for the first Sliver. So let's see what the Cascade hits on it. It looks like a Planeswalker. Oh, no, it's Tasha! Why do I say, oh no, it's Tasha? I say, oh no, it's Tasha, because Tasha is going to make my little goblins useless. Useless in combat. I attack in. We lose you to you, you to there. Rishkar, I can make them a little bit stronger. Okay. No, I think we're okay here. I'm going to use Rishkar to buff up 2 goblins. 2 beautiful goblinis. Then we're going to play Galia. And we're going to go to combat. And in combat, we're going to attack with you, 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 and you. These are the only things that just don't die immediately. We're going to destroy Okagachi Made Manifest with Kogla's on-attack ability. And all of these are going to get -1, -1. Thankfully, this comes in after. We'll discard a card at random, get 2 more, and they have to block Kogla, which leaves me with exact lethal. That's what I love to see. Raf Capuchin Ship's Mage, a very flashy commander. I'm going to keep this hand. I'm going to show you why I said flashy. Raf Capuchin gives historic spells flash. He himself also has flash. And if you don't know what a historic spell is, well, I don't blame you, because they haven't really referenced it much since Dominaria. A historic spell is an artifact, legendary creature, planeswalker, saga. Then, I guess also legendary sorceries are historic. Anything legendary is historic. And we're going to be racing against the counter spells because Wrath, being, well, somebody who operates at instant speed, is usually just holding up counter spells and then flashing in powerful planeswalkers once they have control of the board. Not exactly my favorite game plan to play against, but hopefully we're going to be able to get a wide, valuable board and dodge any, you know, board wipes they may have, because they're in Azorius colors. Also, you may be, why did you play Fable the Mirror Breaker there? It's because the Malevolent Hermit is a counterspell in a creature form, and they were only tapped out on that turn. And I imagine they're going to be holding up 1 blue, and they'll be able to counter any non-creature spell on turns afterwards, as long as they have 1 blue mana up, which they actually don't. They tapped all that are blue here for Narset. You want to come in? You want to party hard? That's cool. I'm going to drop Finn and a land here. Oh, right. Narset. I'm going to do that every goddamn day of my life. I will always forget. Well, while they're tapped out, doesn't matter. Get the chariot down. Listen, I'll just discard 2 cards. You know me. Narset passive. I was out here just thinking, oh, Narset's going to get them good cards like Discover the Formula. Remember, misplays are real and normal and regular. Don't feel bad if you do a mess up. Between Narset and Ashiok, I think those are the 2 I forget about the most. Would you like to wipe the board? I see your Doom Scar. It looks like you would rather not quite draw cards. White and blue mana. Oh, but they're not holding it up. Looks like they put that Doom Scar off to the side there. And I'm going to get down this land. We're going to crack it open. Get myself some good green stuff. Play Hajar and Krenko. Use these lovely little creatures here to crew. And we're going to attack at base and also take out this Narset too. And we'll make a copy of the kitty! My mind needs a rest. Now we know they have a board wipe. And I can only protect Krenko here. But the chariot will also survive combat, which is kind of nice. Would you like to wipe the board, Raph Capuchin? Maybe you're hoping to hold up your card draw, but discover the formula. I feel like that's rather risky, knowing how much damage we have here, unless you also have something like Settle the Wreckage. So what's it gonna be, Riff Raff? It's going to be a ghost, making things uncounterable. That's cool. I don't have counter spells anyway. I'm a Gruul deck. But I know what I do have. It's an escape to the wilds. Oh, could it possibly be my commander Bard class? You know how much I love my commander, who is Bard class. I guess it's time for combat! I'm gonna use the Reflection of Kiki-Jiki to make a copy of my kitty. Then we're going to crew it up. And if they have a Settle the Wreckage or a Wanderer or anything of that sort, good for them. And I feel like we have enough cats. I'm actually gonna copy this treasure. It's the Wandering Emperor, the same cost as our dear friend Settle the Wreckage. But this one only exiles one creature, and there's gonna be the Chariot gone and dead. Or maybe Krenko? Ah, they're going for Krenko! Okay, Krenko is killed. Krenko is killed, but the cat attack. To me, this looks like they're set up just fine and dandy for the board wipe. Hajar has nothing to protect right now, so why don't we give him something to protect? How about we get this Tovolar on the battlefield? I know you've got that Doom Scar. You want to use it? I know you do. How do I goad you into playing this card? Doom my scars. Scar my dooms. I discarded 2 extra cards to you for literally no reason, Raph Capuchin. Oh, no, they're making a blocker? That's not something you do before you wipe the board. I guess it's nighttime. Get that Bard class. Level it up. Unleash the squirrel. Clone the cat. Crew the chariot. They could flash out their commander. They could have actual Settle the Wreckage. Or they could just gain life and draw cards. In this economy? Alright, kids, we're going in. Cats on cats on cats on cats. Gonna go get them lots of slaps. And this will also refill my hand, thanks to our dear friend, Tusky the Squirrel! They're down to 4 life. And we get 6 cards added to our hand. Oh, I love that. I love that for us. I guess I could play the Mox Amber. I'm going to not, just in case they have Farewell. You drew 5 cards? I draw 6 cards. And they did survive, by the way, only because of the life gain from the Revelation. Oh no. Anyway. This is indestructible anyway. It's just more fun to do this. And because they don't have a lot of white mana, they actually had to pay 1 life for that. Painlands! What a pain, am I right? They still have enough mana for Discover the Formula, but that's not going to do anything. They can't even play their commander. So how are you going to survive? Can they see the math? Are they feeling the numbers? Are they just stalling because we won, even though we misplayed? Like, come on! If anybody has the right to be a sassy little baby in this game, it's me. Because I did the thing into the Narset. And people who are commenting on this, don't pretend like you've never done it. I know you have. We all have. I just happen to be doing it on camera. Graphic Capuchin, would you please just finish the game? We're gonna fast forward to the end. Oh my gosh, it's my turn! Okay, let's go. Ah, yes, perfect! It's time to duel, nerd! Gonna get my Den of the Bugbear. I'm gonna get my Den of the Bugbear. I am going to get my Den of the Bugbear. Den of the Bugbear. Oh, look! We're gaming! Not a good game. It's 5 colors, but what's the sub-theme? We won't find out until they start playing the deck. It's Kyodai Soul of Kamigawa. I'm going to keep this hand since we do have a 2-drop in the command zone, and I'm going to start this game playing as if we were playing against Shrines. Now, Kyodai Shrines is kind of what we used to expect when we would see a Kyodai deck, but I've even seen Kyodai, like, dragons before, a very powered-down Tiamat kind of deck. I've seen Kyodai, it was like a Gideon-themed deck. They were just running tons of Gideons. Oh no! And they've removed the text off the first creature that I played. Patriarch's Humiliation with no creatures out still silences my card. So the Goblin Anarchomancer is just a 2/2. It gives me no discounts. What do I want to play? A creature with a power 5 or greater? That sounds pretty good to me. We're gonna throw down Laelia Keen-Eyed, which is going to untap my Gwenna and give me more creature mana. Okay, well, I still get the untap. I just don't get the god. That's a shame. I wanted that. Guess I'll play Krenko. Krenko's cool. And throw down the Shattered Skull, swinging in for another 2. Now, I'm really hoping they don't have a way to kill all these creatures here, because I would love to play something like Kogla or Inferno with the Star Mounts. Ah, and it's not killing, it's bouncing to Fairy Time Raveler. Able to throw a creature. Yep, there we go, back into my hand. Thankfully, we have creatures who can kill this terrible little monster. Ah, I hate Teferi. I don't have anger issues. I might have anger issues towards specifically this Planeswalker. I think it's well-deserved that I have, let's say, a history. I was playing Standard quite a bit during the time when this card was legal, and it took a very long time for them to ban Teferi Time Raveler. And also, seeing this card, it makes me feel like this might be either 5-color good stuff or 5-color super friends, meaning tons of Planeswalkers, which also would mean that they probably have some counter spells in the mix. I'm going to start by playing something that can't be countered. Talking about the Inferno of the Star Mounts. Gonna go to combat, swing in with all these friends, make a couple extra goblins, and are you gonna settle my wreckage? No, it's the Wandering Emperor. Okay, the Wandering Emperor is gonna be able to exile one of my creatures. I think you definitely hit the Inferno. We still hit them for a lot of damage. And because now that I do actually think that they are a Super Friends deck, I'm playing Hajar because board wipes are imminent. These sorts of decks only really make creatures off of their planeswalkers, maybe their commanders, something that's a land. So they're going to... Well, they're going to do that, which unfortunately can't prevent because it's not destroying all creatures, it's exiling all creatures. And we're right back down to square one.
We've got the edge in this fight.
I'm back and ready to smack. Hajar, loyal bodyguard with nobody to protect. What, you want to make a Slamurai? I'm hoping I get green mana so I can destroy your samurai. Green mana? That counts. I could play the Henge here, but I think I'm going to go for the Arcane Signet in case they have a taxing counterspell. Notably, by the way, Kyodai can make this indestructible. Let's find out if that's what they do! What you got? I see you have the Hall of Storm Giants. That would be able to block Hajar. No, they have a Void Rend. Okay. I'll sacrifice Hajar to protect all no creatures I have. And Kogel will say, "Me monkey, where my human? Ook ook. Me monkey." And Kyodai will say, "Samurai, don't worry, I'll protect you." While the ape, I don't know, reaches out his giant ape paw and tries to throw the samurai off of the crystal? Where this is role-playing, baby. They put a +1/+1 counter onto Kyodai. Very cool. If we attack with Kogla, we will be able to destroy this clock. And we have a 2-mana Great Henge, which I'm really hoping means that we can actually land it. Oh my god, wait a minute. This is an Esper deck. I see a little bit of green here, but this is totally an Esper deck. Wild. Well, anyway, I'm still attacking. Going for the Wandering Emperor, destroying the Midnight Clock. Die, Wandering Emperor. We can still sacrifice our commander again. And we are. And we're going to protect the monkey. Our Hajar now costs 8 mana. If you ever wanted to see an expendable commander, this is the one. Oh no! They sacrificed their Wandering Emperor to rid me of my monkey. So they're going to swing in here. They do not have 5 colors. I mentioned before, it looks like their mana base is just Esper. So Kyodai is just going to hang. I could replay Hajar. I could play Arlinn. But I think I'm going to roll them bones and play Toontimber Symbiosis. Looking at the top 7. And getting a card. Oh, I'll take Ghalta. I'll absolutely take Ghalta. Ghalta's a 12/12. I'll block. Cool. I'm bigger than you. Our next opponent is Salami Superstar, who's actually a regular in my channel, so we're gonna hit them with a hi. Hello, hello. And a little bit of cheering. Hooray! I love playing against friends. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Mana, that's what we have. And we're gonna use that mana to play Hajar. Cool. Here's a Mox Amber too. Nice. I have a 3/3 on the battlefield. Radha is a 2/3, which means I'm bigger than they are. Uh-oh, but that's a bounty agent, which can destroy a legendary enchantment, or creature, or artifact. Well, great news. You can't destroy me if I destroy you first. With the power of Domri! And we're gonna swing in for 4. Nice! This Domri is mana, counterspell prevention, and fighting. Also gives a passive +1/+0 to all of my creatures, which is pretty nice. Radha's going to make it so my snowlands would enter tapped, but I don't have snowlands, do I? I don't. It was a I shouldn't say that. I do not have snowlands, so I do not have them. They are not there. We're gonna play the Swiftfoot Boots. We're gonna put the boots on the Krenko. The Krenko gets more fast, more fun, swings in with Hajar, and we make a couple goblins. And the goblins are also being buffed by Domri. But Domri will probably die to Redan because, you know, she's got vigilance. She's a god. She may as well kill this guy. My Domri! No! At least I have a very fast Krenko. And I actually did once build a Domri commander deck. The theme of the deck was things that I do not want to be countered. It was great. I got sick and tired of playing against things that kept countering, and so I played Domri as my commander. And I played as many things that stopped counterspells as I could. Oh, you Wandering Emperor. They can't hit Krenko here. They could hit Hajar, but I would stop them from gaining the 2 life by sacrificing in response. Oh, it looks like they're just gonna make a blocker, a little Slammerai. What do I value? Is it card draw? It's definitely card draw. If you're wondering why this Chandra looks like she costs 2 more, it's because Redan is taxing her. And, speaking of taxes, I don't want to pay mine. So instead of trying to get rid of this Redan and, I don't know, getting more mana off of this, we're just going to play Tusky to draw cards. Hajar dies, but so does Redan. And we draw a bunch of cards. Yes, that's a good one. Ooh, I like that one too. Very nice. Ah! And I think for the low cost of 2 mana, I will happily play Ghalta Primal Hunger. She's a dinosaur who makes you die. Nope. Sore. Oh, okay. Well, she's also dead. They vanquished the Horde, and then they made a little samurai. Well, we do have some things that have haste and give haste, and I think we should make full use of them. I'm gonna play Questing Beast here, the Beast at Questing, and Captain Lenary Storm. I don't even need to use these boots, because we're just going to attack their face. They can't crew, they can't block this, and we're gonna be killing the Wandering Emperor here. Okay, they're trading that, and we're going to draw 2 cards. Also kill the Wandering Emperor. Big fan of that. Big fan. We got a Gwenna and a monkey. And I'm going to put Boots on the Beast. Bootsy and the Beast. That would be a very weird Disney movie. Bad news. This represents life gain and first strike. Good news. Dies to monkey. So we're going to go ahead and play Kogla. We have enough mana to re-equip the boots to give it haste 2, which would destroy the Reckoner Bankbuster. Oh, that's not going to get you too far. And even though they've gained life off of that fight, they're up to 8, everybody swings in. Kogla destroys the Bankbuster, and we deal lethal damage. Good game, Salami Superstar! And thank you all so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. I hope you enjoyed Smash and Face with Gruul Aggro Legendaries as much as I did. If you ever want to watch me record these live, you should come over to twitch.tv/Amazonian, which is where I am right now. I took a short vacation recently, but I am back and on my regular schedule, which is streaming an obscene amount of Magic the Gathering. You should come hang out with me! Please! We're fun here! Okay, bye!